It is finally almost springtime. It's been like 70 degrees here off and on this week, and I am so excited because I'm over winter. Anyhow, let's get into this. So, are you wanting to save money on your groceries? Are you wanting to meal plan, but you just don't have time? You don't want to shop deals, you don't want a coupon, all that stuff. Totally fine. So, let's go over a meal plan. It is full meal plan for family of 4. It's going to be breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, a sweet treat, and you can get everything at your local super Walmart, and it's going to be under $100. So let's dig in. As you can see, we went with some springy colors this week. I think it looks pretty. What do you think? So this is the overview of our meal plan, and it's got a little grocery list. So let's go ahead and look at the full grocery list. Okay, here is our grocery list, and I have laid this out like a strategic grocery list, meaning that every section of the store has its own little mini list. But before you go to the store, make sure you check your pantry, your freezer, your fridge, because you may already have some of these items. Like, for instance, peanut butter, barbecue sauce, flour. You might already have those. You might already have some chicken bouillon cubes. You might already have instant mashed potatoes. Check, check, check. Your total just got lower. So let's look at the next one where I'm going to show you some visuals. I think visuals are really important, especially if you're not super familiar with shopping at Walmart. So, real quick, we got some fudge brownie mix. You don't have to do fudge, you can just do regular brownie, whatever, sounds good. This is a 3-color coleslaw. The reason why I picked this one versus the other one, the plain green one, I think it was called the angel hair coleslaw, was only 12 ounces. This one was 16 ounces. We're going to do a 3-pound bag of frozen chicken thighs. They just happen to be cheaper than the regular ones, but make sure you get the boneless, skinless ones, less work for you. Now, I put both of these on here. You'll see that there's fish sticks and fish fillets. Personally, I kind of like the fish fillets better, but they're exactly the same price and you get more ounces with the fish sticks. So that's why I put it on the list. But if you don't want to do fish sticks, you can easily do fish fillets, whatever. Now, we're going to do chorizo for a Mexican inspired dish. And typically it comes in 2 different types. You can do pork or beef. To me, I usually grab the pork one, but if you like a beef flavor better, honestly, they both kind of taste the same because they have the same flavorings, but totally up to you. If you don't eat pork, grab the beef one. We're going to use actual pizza crust mix. They're about 72 cents and they're super convenient. A pound of regular ground sausage. We're going to do 20 ounces of crushed pineapple. The crushed here is actually essential. If you already have pineapple at home, you can totally use it. You might just want to pulse it in like a food chopper for a minute or two. 2 different pastas this week. I picked a rotini and a macaroni, but honestly, if you already have pasta at home, just use that. If you have like a penne or the little bow ties, any of that stuff will work. I just probably wouldn't do it with spaghetti noodles, but hey, if you got a ton of them at home, go ahead and use them. Then the chicken bouillon cubes, just like last week, check out your international aisle. They're much cheaper there. Now, we're getting 2 different salsas. We're getting a traditional salsa and then we're getting guacamole salsa. I like this one from Herdez. It is unbelievably good. We're going to do some just regular hot dogs. This is an 8 count and we're going to have them twice this week. So make sure you have 4 one day and 4 the next day. And then this is just a 9-ounce box of instant potatoes. Yes, it's cheaper to get a bigger pack, but we really only need about half of this box for this week. So you'll have half a box for later on. If you like instant mashed potatoes and you buy them regularly, go ahead and buy the bigger box. But in this instance, we just went with the smaller one. I apologize for all the dings, but my phone only blows up when I'm trying to record a video. So go figure. So before we get too far, if you want a copy of all the recipes, all the grocery list, all the everything, or just want to see all the slides where you can just view them at your convenience, I'm going to put a link in the description. Just click on the link, go there. You can download the free PDF and you can see all of these slides. I also have a section where you can sign up for our email newsletter. So you will be notified every week when a new menu comes out. So for day 1, this is usually on a Sunday at my house. So I get to do a little bit more stuff than I would on like a weekday. So for breakfast, we're going to do an egg and sausage pizza using that pizza crust, and we'll serve it with a banana. Now, we are going to use the sausage for another breakfast, so I would go ahead and cook the whole thing on this day, and then just save the other cooked half so it's in the fridge and ready to go for the other meal. Now, we're just going to do a super easy lunch of hot dogs in hot dog buns with tortilla chips. And then just make sure that we're going to do one per person today because we'll have hot dogs in another day. And then for dinner, we're going to do chicken taquitos with guac rice and carrots. And oh my gosh, this rice is so good. And I'm trying to show you more ways to use your basic white rice with flavorings, because instead of buying those, even though they're only $1 and it's, the seasoned rice, they're yummy. I get that. But when you look at the actual ingredients, you're paying 2 to 3 times more what you could go ahead and buy and then make on your own. And then you could have so much more to work with. So trust me on that. Anyway, we're also, for our sweet treat this week, we're going to do some peanut butter brownies, because brownies are awesome, but let's add some peanut butter. And it's so simple. We're going to make the brownie mix how it's done. And then we're going to take about half a cup of peanut butter and we're going to microwave it till it's nice and creamy. And then we're just going to drizzle it so that when we cut it, you got those nice little peanut butter swirls in there. Oh, okay. Yummy. I think about food all the time, and it's amazing that, I just don't eat nonstop. Let's move on. Okay, so for day 2, we are going to do some cottage cheese and pineapple. This is going to be the crushed pineapple in the can. We're going to use about half of it because we're going to need half of it for another night. We can do this with some English muffins and just do some butter or jam or peanut butter, however you like to eat them. For lunch, we're going to do a super yummy tuna and white bean salad. And so this is a great option if you're into like high protein, because it's super filling, but it's actually super yummy too. For dinner, we're going to do a potato and corn chowder with garlic bread. Now, technically, this is going to be a meatless dinner, but if you wanted to, we are going to have a good amount of chicken thighs this week, so you could easily add some shredded chicken in here. Totally up to you. And then one thing I do want to mention is you can totally prep your chicken ahead. It is frozen, so what you could do is just defrost all the chicken thighs and then go ahead and drizzle them with oil and your favorite seasonings and then bake them in the oven, or we usually like to grill them. Now that it's springtime and it's warm, we'll just go ahead and grill them all, and then once they've cooled down, we put them in Tupperware and then we have them ready all week long, and that just cuts so much of your prep and cook time in half. Now, that was pretty much it for that one. Okay, so for day 3, we're going to do some corn fritters with the clementine oranges. Now, we did do some corn muffins a couple weeks back. This one is a little bit different. Instead of like a dense corn muffin, this is actually more like a little corn quiche, and it is so yummy. This will make about 8 to 10 in the little muffin tins. So we're going to have half of them this morning, and then on another morning, we're going to have the other half. For lunch, we're going to have dinner leftovers. And then for dinner, we're going to have chicken margarita pasta with green beans. And my husband and I have talked about this, and we can't quite tell if this sauce is more mac and cheese or more Alfredo. I'm team more Alfredo. He thinks it tastes more like mac and cheese. So you have to let me know what you think. It is day 4, so we're going to be looking at some scrambled eggs with sausage and toast. We already have the cooked sausage, so I would just start those off in the pan, get them all warmed up, then add your whisked eggs and a little splash of milk. Go ahead and fold that until it's all nice and done. If you have some cheese left over, put them on there, and then just with some toast. We're having a loaf of the sliced French bread, and so super easy. Then for lunch, we're going to have some dinner leftovers again. That pasta the next day is so good. And then for dinner, we are going super, super easy. We're just going to do some fish sticks in the oven with some sweet potatoes and zucchini. That's also done on a sheet pan. So it's literally just get everything prepped and put it in the oven. Now, I know not everybody likes tartar sauce, so I've included an optional how to make it at home with probably items you already have. I've also included some snack ideas. Okay, so day 5 is a super easy day. So we're going to have the second half of the corn fritters with some clementine oranges. We're going to have the second half of the hot dogs with tortilla chips. And then this is probably one of my favorite dinners right now. It's a barbecue chicken bowl with pineapple slaw. So it is a rice bowl, so you'll have the white rice at the bottom. Now, fun fact here, you are going to have all that yummy pineapple juice. So when you're cooking your rice, I usually start with 1 cup of dry rice, and then you would need 2 cups of water. What I would do if you really like pineapple is I would take that pineapple juice and put it in your measuring cup, and then that might be like 2/3 of a cup, and then just fill the rest of it up with water to get to the 2 cups, and that'll add some extra flavor to your rice. And then we're going to make a pineapple slaw. It's really super yummy. It's going to use the other half of the bag of the coleslaw mix. And the recipe did call for some like diced or sliced jalapenos. If you don't like them, it's totally fine. You can leave them out. I usually, because my kids aren't really big on spicy flavors, so what I do is I make the slaw, I pull out a little bit that they'll have, and then I add the jalapenos in it because my husband and I would both like this more spicier version. And then once this is fully cooked, um, you would just go ahead and assemble your bowls. When you will have some leftovers in this, and I would recommend that you don't make it a pre-made lunch. I would keep everything separate just because when you go to heat it up, I find that it doesn't make the rice all crunchy that way, but that's up to you. Okay, so it's day 6. It's almost the end of the week. So we're going to have some of those English muffins with some peanut butter and banana. And my kids really like to do the little slices of bananas on top because then they think it's more like a breakfast pizza. Then for lunch, this is actually one of my favorite dinners, but we're going to do it as a lunch this week. It's going to be some fish stick tacos with some coleslaw. So we're going to use that other half bag of coleslaw mix, but this time we're just going to do a super quick, just traditional coleslaw. And then you take your flour tortilla, you take some of your fish sticks, and you can reheat those in the air fryer, the oven, or the toaster oven. Top it with your coleslaw. I usually add some tomatoes on top, and it's just so, so yummy. And then for dinner, this is going to be a guac salsa mac and cheese with asparagus. This is super simple. You're going to start it off on the stove and then it's going to finish off in the oven. One thing with the asparagus, sometimes you get asparagus and it's super, super thick. And those are the kind you usually get in the middle of summertime. Right now, it's springtime, you get the ones that are really, really thin. And those are kind of sometimes referred to as early asparagus. So keep an eye on your asparagus. If it is super thin, it does not take very long to roast in the oven and it can burn and it can turn really, really brown and yucky. So I would put it in there. If you can see and you can in your oven, you can keep an eye on it. I like to flip it about halfway and then pull it out. Some of the thinner ones usually only take about 15 minutes or less to cook. If it's the big, huge asparagus, those can take longer. It may take the full 20 to 25 minutes. You'll have to play that one by ear. Now, just a reminder, this is just a suggested order. You don't have to follow this order. You can totally rearrange it to work for you. And I mean, there's no set in stone plan here. I'm just trying to inspire you with different ways that you could make this work. So if you've made it all this way, you may have noticed I had quite a few bloopers today, but I've only had to record this 3 times today because my internet's been goofing up and it keeps chopping everything in half. So, oh well, we live and learn and we keep going. So if you want to learn more about different $100 or less meal plans, there's a couple places you can check us out. You can go link down below to our website. Definitely sign up for our email newsletter. That's kind of like the VIP because you get early access to all the menus every week. Now, you can also go over to Facebook and search Lodo Family. We have a wonderful page there where we do lots of content regarding tips and tricks and hacks and recipes and inspiration and ideas. Really, it's just, all there. We also have a public Facebook group where you can go. It's called Meal Planning for All. You can go there and share your meal plan. Other people share theirs. You could go there and say, hey, I have a whole bag of carrots I need to use up. Anybody got any cool ideas to use carrots? And then they'll send you recipes, post ideas. It's really like a great way to crowdsource your meal planning when you get stuck. And they're all super nice. So don't feel, you know, overwhelmed at all. Just come on over there and ask all the questions you want. The last thing is, I don't remember. I told you I've recorded this so many times. I don't know what I've said and what I haven't. So if I goof this up, I'm sorry. And hopefully you can kind of giggle at my bloopers. So have a great week. I'll see you next week.